and then we'll get started with today's session. But in the meantime, we'll try to understand how we will be conducting this session and how you can extract the maximum benefit out of this session. All right, so firstly, let me share with you how we will be conducting this session. So this is basically interactive sessions that we are conducting. So during this session, I'll walk you through a presentation, and I'll also give you a live demonstration, something I love to do. And then we'll break into a question answer round. However, during the session also, I'll keep interacting with you. That means I'll keep asking, or I'll keep seeking your inputs and responses as well. However, during any time, if you have a question, you should add that question to the Q&A. So towards the bottom of your screen, you'll be seeing an option called Q&A. So you have to add your question in that. You can also add your question in the chat. There is absolutely no technical foundation or technical limitation that you cannot add your question in the chat. You can definitely do that. However, sometimes there is a lot of exchange happening between the participants itself in the chat. So that's where there is a possibility that your question might get missed out, and you would not want to do that because you have invested your valuable time here. So we honestly want that you should get responses, or you should get answers to all the queries or questions that you may have. So that's where I would request you that if you have a question, and at any given point of time, obviously towards the end of the session, we'll break into a question answer round, and that's where we will answer all your question. But it is not necessary that you have to wait all the way till the end, that when like the question answer round starts, that's where we should ask the question. That should not be the case. You can ask your question whenever it is there in your mind, or whenever the query comes to your mind that, hey, I should also want to know that. So that's where you should ask the question. So asking the question is fundamentally crucial for extracting the maximum benefit from this webinar. Now, many times when we are in a public platform, we are in a large gathering, so we feel a little shy in asking the question, because we feel that what will others think about us, right? So sometime even in our college days, we had like a very genuine question in our head, but we like kept it to ourselves. We don't, or I don't want you to do that. There is a wonderful option called anonymous. So if you click on that Q&A option that you're seeing on the bottom, that's where you'll see there's an option of anonymous. So you can hide your name, you can hide your identity, but still ask your question, right? So if you're feeling a little uncomfortable asking the question, use that option. Again, it is important that all the doubts and queries that you have should get clarified in this session. That will be a good use of your valuable time as well as ours. So please do feel free to ask your questions. Now, I can see there are a few members who have already started using the chat. It is a wonderful thing. You should also do that. What they're using it for is they are sharing information about themselves. What do they do, where they are located. If they have a digital catalog, they are also adding the link. So you should also do this. This is a wonderful networking opportunity. You should utilize it. In fact, I would want to utilize it. So I'll also jump in, and I will also share my details here. So if any one of you wants to connect with me, you are more than welcome to connect with me. So this is where you can see in the chat, you can also connect and network and interact with other wonderful business owners who are also part of this discussion. Now, there is another technical point I would want to share with you, and in next 1 minute, we'll get started with the discussion. That is, many of you may be joining through your smartphones, right? Now, this is where, when I'm going to, in next few seconds, I'm going to start sharing my screen. And that's where 99% of the cases, the screen will go like full screen automatically, but sometimes it does not, right? I have also experienced this on Zoom, especially when I was using it on mobile. that the screen does not go full screen on its own. How do you solve for that, right? So that's where you should hold your device like this, right? So instead of holding it like this, which is like a common tendency, you should hold it like this. So right, if it is not going full screen, just turn it around. That should help. That should make it go full screen, and that should solve your problem of not being able to see the screen properly. All right, so this is where we are going to get started. Once again, warm welcome to all the participants. I'm extremely excited to connect and interact with you, and I'll walk you through a presentation, and then I will also give a step-by-step demonstration how you can create a digital catalog as well, and then other related points. So without spending any more time, let's quickly get started. So I am going to start sharing my screen, and in next few seconds, you'll start seeing the screen, and then we will proceed ahead with today's presentation. As I mentioned earlier, your questions are extremely important, so do add them in the Q&A. All right, so this is where I'm going to start sharing my screen. Let's hide this so that it is not obstructing our view. And now we are going to start with the presentation. So let's start the discussion. Somehow it is not going full screen. Yeah, now it is full screen. So firstly, we'll start with the speaker's introduction. So although many of you may have already attended few of my previous webinars, but let's have a quick introduction for the benefit of every participant who is joining us here today. So my name is Adnan. I am Director SME E-commerce Growth at GlobalLinker. My functional focus area is the digital commerce platform Linker.store and other strategic initiatives related to digital commerce. I have more than 1.5 decades of experience, and I had this wonderful opportunity of working on educating SME business owners, micro and small business owners in various countries. And that's where I have conducted more than 350 training sessions and webinars, and had the amazing opportunity of connecting and sharing information with more than 12,000 businesses. So that's a brief introduction about myself. Now let's understand what are we going to discuss or understand in today's session. So firstly, we'll try to understand why your business needs a digital catalog. After that, we'll try to understand digital catalog versus information website. Then we'll try to understand how to create a digital catalog. And then we'll move on to understand the completeness check for your digital catalog. So that's where I am going to give you a few tools which you can use to do this completeness check. So that is a resource that you will take away from today's session. And then I'll also explain to you how you can avail digital catalog setup service. And lastly, we'll break into the question answer round as part of the open discussion. So moving on to the first point without spending any more time, that is why your business needs a digital catalog. So that's where let's understand, or let's try to understand firstly the importance of digital catalog. So the year was 1995, and at that time, internet was a new thing, right? So it was even limited to the Western countries, and that's where there was one individual from Asia who was visiting US at that time, and his friend introduced him to the internet, and obviously instinctively he tried to understand what is this internet thing. So he told me that you can look for information on it, and that's where he searched, or what was the first thing he searched for? It was beer. And then what was the second thing he searched for? That was the name of his country, which is China. And that's where there was nothing. When he searched for China, there was nothing. And that's where the person felt a little disheartened. And that's where he asked his friend, can we create something for China? Let's create a page. And then they created the page and put it on the internet. And then they went back to their hotels. The next day in the morning, when that person was sleeping, his friend called up, hey, you have like 75 emails received on the page that you had created. And he said, what is an email? So he went there, sat on the computer and understood. And there were so many people who wanted to understand or who wanted to do business with China or explore China more. So that's where this person realized the importance of internet or importance of digital. Most of you may have already guessed who this person is. He is Jack Ma, the person behind the Alibaba .com and Alibaba Group. Now, I'm going to share with you few other examples where businesses have not realized the importance of digital or having a digital presence or a digital catalog. And that's where they were like mammoth businesses, huge conglomerates, and they've ceased to exist just because they were not able to digitize or adopt digital methods. Toys R Us, Blockbuster. And Blockbuster is a classic case study. You'll find a lot of material online. So Blockbuster and Netflix, they were like direct competitor. Netflix was digital and they were physical, and then how their inability to understand or realize the importance of digital led to their uh, closure of their business. Then we have Borders, Tower Records, Disc-Terra, so many examples. Then we have other businesses which I've listed here. These are not something which which got into trouble or they were closed down because of not adopting technology. But again, they didn't realize the importance of technology, and that's where they are they cease to exist. So these are so many examples. What I am trying to convey to you, that digital or online is a big opportunity. So as a business, it is the way forward, and it is crucial for any type of business to digitize themselves. Now, many times when I'm interacting or I'm doing these kind of sessions, many business owners share with me their thoughts that they feel that digital is something which is more relevant for businesses that are into B2C space, right? So when they're selling to the customer, that is where the digital is the right ecosystem or right solution. However, if they are doing a B2B business, that's where they are exporting or they are selling to different industries, etc. So that's where it is not something that can help their business. Now, this is also something which I respond to them, that is their misinterpretation of the overall opportunity. Because understand, being on digital is not just like selling to the retail customer, it is having a digital presence, right? So you have a presence on the World Wide Web. Now, tomorrow, if there is something, it is not necessary that only the people whom you are familiar with or whom you have met, they would be needing your products, right? So anyone anywhere in the world can need your products, can need your offerings, right? So that is where having a digital presence is extremely important, so that your business is discoverable. Tomorrow, if someone is looking for your product or services, they can discover you on the World Wide Web. And it is obvious, right? In today's day and age, no one goes out and looks for businesses in the market, right? So they would start searching online. And if you are not available online, that's where you will not be discovered, and there is a potential business that you would cease to exist. So that's where having that discoverability is extremely crucial, and that is why you need to have digital presence. Now, the second part of the argument that it cannot generate those, that is also not accurate, because in the similar fashion, like how B2C businesses generate orders for their business, similarly, you can generate leads and inquiries in the similar fashion. In fact, the same marketing techniques can be applied, right? So with tuking, obviously, the same marketing technique which a B2C business is deploying, you cannot deploy them, like you cannot copy paste them, but the same tools, right? They're running search ads. You can also run search ads. Their ads are different. Your ads are different, but there is an audience that is out there that is looking for your product, and using the digital marketing mediums, you can reach out to those customers and convert them into your customers, or at least generate leads from those customers or those people who are trying to or who are looking for your product and services, right? So that's where please don't be confused that it is only for B2C. It is catering, or it can cater to, and it is already catering to all type of businesses, whether you are B2C, whether you are B2B, or you are in services, or you are doing both. Every business has to be on the digital ecosystem, and every business can benefit out of it. All right. So let's move on to the next slide. And this is where I'm going to understand, or I'm going to help you understand it a little more practically. So this is where we have taken a hypothetical business called Majestic Enterprises. They are into garment manufacturing and sales, and they are based out of Delhi, and they do like 15-20 orders per day. Now we have to help them get to 100 orders per day, right? So 100 orders every day they are receiving. How can we make them do? Let's explore the non-digital methods. So that's where they can participate in events and exhibition, appoint a on-ground sales team that can go and get orders from them, and appoint ordering agents or joint trade associations, or publish ad in relevant magazines or publication, right? So these are the non-digital methods which are available, and I've also listed down the costings for each of the method, which you can see on your screen. I'm not going into that detail. Now let's explore the digital methods which are available to achieve this target or hit this target. And this is where even in non-digital methods, we know the costing and what are the methods which can be adopted. But short, will we be able to get 100 orders per day? We are not sure, right? So these are the methods which we can deploy, and there is certain cost associated with it. But whether it will result into those many number of orders or not, that is something we are not sure of. Now, coming to digital method, that's where we can like precisely hit the target. First is you have to create a digital catalog. It varies, right? So you can create DIY absolutely free, zero cost, depends on what type of features or services you would want. Then you have search and display advertising. That's where assuming 2% conversion and 20%, 20 per click within like spending 1 L, you'll be able to get these orders for sure. Then you have leveraging networking platforms. Then you have emailing and newsletters, and that's where you can also participate on ONDC network, and at zero cost you can get additional orders, right? So this is where, firstly, the point that I'm trying to highlight is, firstly, you will be spending significantly less to achieve this target, right? It is easy to deploy. It is perpetual. So it is not like you will have to dig the well every day. Once you have built it up, you can reap the benefits of it for many, many years to go. So it is easy to deploy. It is significantly cheaper, cost effective. And there is a certain level of accuracy which is also available, right? Maybe not like pinpoint precise, but there is a certain level of accuracy with which you can strive to achieve these numbers. That's why it is crucial that your business should also have a digital catalog, and then participating in ONDC will be an icing on the cake. And you can create a digital catalog, participate on ONDC, and also grow your business through the ONDC network with zero cost. Moving on to the next slide, and this is where I'm attempting to explain to you what is digital catalog, because many times what I've experienced, like I'm explaining the difference between digital catalog and why should I have the digital catalog, case studies, etc. But people they are confused, like what is a digital catalog, right? You're explaining everything, but what is a digital catalog? So let's try to understand digital catalog as well. So digital catalog is a website or a computer file used to provide the examples of personal work or product offering by a business in a digital format, which can easily be accessed digitally by a prospective customer. I'm going to repeat this line. I've just read it from the slide, but I'm going to repeat this line once again, because that is where it is extremely crucial, which can be easily accessed digitally by a prospective customer. This is where, when we say the term digital catalog, a lot of people feel like having a PDF file of your catalog is a digital catalog, or having a presentation is a digital catalog. No, absolutely, because it cannot be accessed freely. right? So it can only be accessed by the person whom you have given that file, right? So you gave me a PDF catalog, I can only access it. But this is where, when we are referring to a digital catalog, it can be accessed by anyone on the World Wide Web, unless we are like it is a restricted content that you don't want to share. So unless that is a requirement, it should be accessible, or it can be found by anyone who's part of the internet on the World Wide Web. So that is crucial for digital catalog. There are often these consist of your graphic images, text, etc. Now, are the product or images on your smartphone or a PDF brochure that you have on your smartphone, is it a digital catalog? Images are definitely no. PDF, I've already explained, right? It is there on your system, but because it cannot be accessed freely, the important term or the word to be stressed is freely. It should be accessed freely. If it is accessible freely, then obviously it can be discovered and accessed freely. So obviously PDF file is also not a digital catalog. So now let's try to understand why it is important to have a good digital catalog. Do you agree, if a person is visiting your store or they are visiting your factory and you're interacting with them, that's where you'll be able to understand their requirement in a better way, and you'll be able to showcase your products and understand the benefits, etc., etc., right? So you'll be dealing with them, right? So you walk into a garment store and you ask for a shirt from the salesperson. They'll be showing you the shirt, but in addition to showing you the shirt, they'll also be sharing with you, like, sir, check out the cotton. It is a merchandised cotton, and then check out the stitching. This is nice stitching. This is check out the coloring, the buttons which are used, right? So they'll be explaining, they'll be sharing all that information with us, so that we can make that decision, right? So they are not just showing the product, hey, here's the product, try it out. No, they will also be explaining, right? So in the similar way, when someone is visiting your online store, and that's where your salesperson or yourself is not available, that's where your digital catalog has to do the selling. That is why it is extremely important, or it is crucial, that you should have a nice digital catalog that can do the selling themselves, or it can do the selling itself, right? So a good digital catalog is equal to good sale. You can create a digital catalog, but if you're not adding proper information to it, if you're not adding proper visuals to it, if you're not adding the required information which a prospective may need to make that decision, obviously you are just creating something for the sake of it, right? And it is a like sincere request, please don't create something for the sake of it, right? Because you know that digital is the way forward, or your boss has asked that you create a digital catalog. No, just don't create something for the sake of it, because at the end of the day, if you are getting into this space, if you are doing this, then you should do it properly, whether you are doing it yourself or you are outsourcing it, hiring an agency or a professional to do that. But whichever way you are doing, do it thoroughly, with a clear vision on in your head, with a very clear mindset that what you are creating should be able to do the sales, right? So it should be able to help the other person understand the product or the service offering in a great detail, so that almost 99% of the questions that that person may have related to the product or the service, all of them are answered by the digital catalog itself. Still, if they have 1% left, those can be clarified by an in-person call or a short meeting itself. But the majority of the work should be done by the digital catalog, right? It should not be like you have uploaded one image and wrote one line, and now you're expecting that the person should call you to get answers to other information. A lot of people will not do that, right? So don't do that mistake. Create it with a mindset that this page has to do the selling, right? So reading this page, the person should be able to understand it entirely, and they should be impressed enough to give me an order or send me an inquiry, right? That should be your thought process. That should be your vision. Now, let's quickly understand between the difference between a digital catalog and information website. A lot of time people get confused. So let's quickly understand that as well. Firstly, understanding about digital catalog. So number of pages is unlimited information about the business. It contains information about the business, detailed information about the product or services. It has an information structure where you have name, variant, summary, additional information, etc. You can accept small orders or bulk, display pricing in international currencies as well, right? Offers special discount to regular bulk buyer, runs special offers for bulk buyer, inquiry for bulk corporate buyers, client testimonials, and data analytics and tracking. Right, this is where again you would see that I have tried to incorporate many points that are related to B2B businesses, because again, I understand many businesses or many participants who are joining the session, they are from the B2B business, but they feel that it is for B2C. But here you can see there are so many points that I've added just for you so that you don't feel that it is entirely B2C, B2C. Obviously, it can be used or it can cater to both type of businesses with the same efficiency. It is not like the benefit to a B2C businesses are here and B2B businesses are there. It can cater to both the businesses with the same efficiency. So that is digital catalog. So it is like a big 18-wheeler truck that can do or that can carry a lot of stuff. Information website, number of pages are limited. Information about the business, information about the product and services. Send contact us message inquiry or few client testimonials. So if you're doing a comparison, that is like a delivery van as compared to a large 18-wheeler, right? So that is a very basic comparison between the two. Now, when you're creating a digital catalog, what type of benefits you'll be getting? So you'll provide modern buyers with what they need to make the buying decision. So a modern buyer is not only looking for information about the business that provides those products and services, but also about the product and services, right? And this is something I'm not making it up. There is a research which was done, I think last year, no, 2021 is when that research was done. And that's where the objective of the research was to find out what is the change which has happened, because obviously we saw there was a significant jump in technology adoption during the COVID. Now, what was the impact of that? So the impact was that almost 50% of the buying has now started happening digitally. And another significant impact is that the majority of buyers are now the millennials, and businesses that does not have a digital existence or digital presence is something which literally does not exist for them, right? So that is where if you are someone who is in that space and you're not digitizing yourself, so in next few years it will be very difficult for you to attract new buyers or even retain the existing ones. So that's where it is extremely important that you should have a digital catalog. It will give you deeper and better insights into customer behavior, buying patterns, traffic, order frequency, etc. It has a better data structure as compared to information website. It is better in terms of search engine optimization, better load speed, and better user experience. Provide more and better quality information on the product and services, cater to wide spectrum of customers. So the same digital catalog can cater to B2C, B2B, and corporate customers. You don't have to create like 3 websites, one website catering to all of them. Significant simplifying regular buying ordering process and run targeted promotional campaigns for B2B and B2C audience. Same website, you can run 2 promotional campaigns, one for B2C in case you are in B2C and one for B2B, right? So same website, 2 promotional campaign, 2 type of customers coming to your digital catalog, and both of them are interacting and giving you business from the same online platform. Ease of sharing and generating lead. So these are few benefits that I've listed here that you will get by creating your digital catalog. Sorry. Let's move on, and let's move on to another slide. And this is where I've tried to incorporate certain information about custom build versus SaaS. Why so? Because many times in my previous sessions, a lot of people have told me that, okay, we agree that we should create a digital catalog, but why should we look at a software as a service solution, right? Why should we look at a SaaS solution? Why should we not just get it created ourselves? So that is where I'm giving you these few criterias, and you can evaluate both the solutions by yourself. So here in the center, you will see the criterias, and we have SaaS means software as a service, and this is custom build. So software as a service is where you're taking a subscription, right? So you're creating a digital catalog, but it is you don't own the code, right? So you're paying a subscription, or you're not paying the subscription, but as long as you want, you can use that. And when you are done, you can end the subscription, and then you can just move away. This is where you are getting it built ground up for use, right? So in the entire code is there, you are taking a server space, you are putting that code there, right? So it is like building a house ground up. That is a custom build. Now, many people feel that, or many businesses owners feel that having a custom build is better for their business as compared to going for a SaaS solution, right? So they feel very uncomfortable that our data will be on someone else's server, whereas we should have it on our server, right? There is a privacy concern there. Try to understand these organizations which are running SaaS platform, they comply with very high level of securities and data privacy standards, right? So which you can't, you'll have to spend lakhs and lakhs to reach to that level. So obviously your data is more safe with them as compared to being there on your servers. The possibility of your server getting hacked is significantly high as compared to their servers, because they're already complying with so many security standards, and there are so many audits already happening. So your data is more secured with them as compared to be there on your own system. And the second question that interestingly people say, or they come back with, is this is where they are perpetually paying the subscription, or they are subscribing to the service, whereas this is where they think that they are building an asset, right? They are creating a e-commerce platform of their self. Now this is where the answer that I asked them is actually a question. And I asked them, what is your business? Right? So they say, we manufacture garments, or we manufacture this one, and we sell them, or we are in trading business, we trade into electronic appliances, etc. Fair enough. Is building technology and selling it your business? No, absolutely. Then why are you even investing in to something, firstly, which is depreciable, right? So it will get obsolete in few years. Now you're investing heavily into something which will get obsolete like in 3-4 years. And why would you want to like invest that much into something which is going to get obsolete, and it will give you the same kind of benefit that you would have gotten by using a SaaS solution and investing almost like fraction of it. So this is where it is almost equal to burning money. The misconception that a lot of businesses have with custom build is that this is going to be a perpetual thing, right? So one time investment, like building a house, you built it and you're going to use it for life. It does not work like that in the technology space, right? So just like this is a question to the audience, right? How many of you are using the same phone? How many of you are using the same phone that you bought like 10 years ago? None of us, right? So we have all changed our phone, right? Technology, the shelf life is significantly less, right? So don't assume or don't imagine that if you're investing heavily and getting something custom built, it will last you for an eternity. You'll have to update it, upgrade it, because the hardware, the software, all of that is getting upgraded very quickly. And it is not like you have to get it updated in 3 years or 4 years of time. It is also that because during this period of 3-4 years, as the technology is constantly evolving, it is constantly upgrading itself, the new features, new things are getting added, right? So that's where you also keep on constantly investing. So it is not like you invested heavily here and then after 3 years, 4 years, you're again going to heavily invest. Yes, that's going to happen. But in between also, you'll be constantly in this process of catching up with what is happening with the technology or what is happening with the ecosystem. That is where it is not sensible as a business owner to go for a custom build unless there's a different business objective. Other than that, it is always better that you should go for a SaaS solution, software as a service solution, right? And these days, almost everything, whether it is your mobile application, the premium mobile application, they all work on SaaS application. Your Microsoft Office subscription, your Gmails, everything is on SaaS. And this is the fundamental reason why it is. Any service that you're subscribing for, you can subscribe it for a period. When you don't want to use it, just end your subscription, and you don't have to build it or you have to buy it and install it. You don't have to get into all that hassle. Just subscribe it and use it, right? So this is where there are a few criteria that I've listed them down. Let's quickly go through them. Initial investment with SaaS, it is like negligible. With custom, extremely high. Go live time, short, long. Investment in hosting infrastructure, not required. Subscription in maintenance contract, not required. This is where you need to have an agency that will provide maintenance to the custom build, the Taj Mahal that you have built. You'll need an agency to maintain that. New features and functionalities automatically added to the platforms. You don't have to worry about them, right? So the SaaS platforms, they constantly keep upgrading themselves. Development is required, right? So that's where you'll have to employ an agency that will do the development for you. Then you have a requirement for technical know-how for e-store management. No, and this is where you need it for some extent. SaaS platforms are relatively very user-friendly and very easy to use. So you'll not have to invest heavily into learning, right, how to use this. This is where obviously to some extent you'll have to do that. Risk of obsolescence, technology getting old. SaaS, absolutely no. Yes, very high. Ease of integration with payment and logistic. SaaS platforms come with pre-integrated, whereas here you have to do the development. Integrate with other value-added plugins. Most plugins are pre-integrated with SaaS-based solution, whereas here you have to do the development. Data security is very high, comparatively less in case of custom build. Overall ease of use, easy. SaaS-based, as I mentioned earlier, they are very user-friendly and very easy to use. Custom build, ease of use is difficult because fundamentally many of these platforms are built to be used by technology teams or techies. So obviously they don't have such easier user interfaces. Education training for team members, this is where it is easy. And for custom build, you need to have a reasonably well-educated team to manage that. All right, let's move on to the next topic, that is how to create a real catalog. This is where firstly I'm going to explain to you the process, and then I'll quickly walk you through the process as well, right? I'll take you through the step-by-step process. So the first one is you should sign up and create an account on GlobalLinker. I'm assuming all of you have done that. If you haven't done that, just go to globallinker.com, and that's where you can create your own account. Then you have to set up your online store, upload your products, and business-related content, and then link it up with Google Analytics, Tag Manager, Search Consoles, etc. And then start inviting your existing customers to start giving you business on your digital catalog. Now, this is where I'm going to shift or switch my screen, and we will go to another tab or account, and this is where I'm going to take you quickly through. And this is where we will not spend like a very detailed deep dive session. We'll quickly walk you through the online store creation process. And I'm doing this deliberately because many times when I explain this process, you can easily create a digital catalog for your business. a lot of people think that, okay, he is a techie or he has been associated with this space, so it is relatively easy. But when we will be doing it, it will be like extremely complicated, right? So, and they're absolutely correct in this feeling, right? I'm not saying that their apprehensions are uncalled for. They are absolutely correct, because this isn't something that you do every day, right? You don't create e-commerce websites, or you don't create digital catalogs every day. This is something which you may be doing for the very first time. And when we are doing anything for the very first time, we already have apprehensions, etc. Now, this next few minutes, I'm going to just spend to help you overcome that apprehension, help you overcome that overwhelming fear that, oh, it is looking technical. Yeah, we are creating something, digital catalog website, something, right? Don't worry, it is very simple. Nothing technical, or no technology, or no coding, nothing required. All right, so I'm logged into a account, and here I have to click on this option, which is online store, which will open the seller panel. So we have clicked on this online store. This is the seller panel. What is it? It is a very basic bare bone digital catalog, which is used to showcase products on this profile that we have on the GlobalLinker. GlobalLinker, in case you're not aware, is a business networking and digitization enablement platform. So as a business, you can showcase your product or services on your profile, right? There's a profile. So this is where you can showcase your product and services. And this is the place from where you can go and add your product and services, right? But what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a digital catalog. How do we do that? So we'll simply click on create now, which will open this overlay. There are few simple questions that are there. You can re-review them and answer them. Very simple one, like what is the main purpose of your online store, approximately how many products you'll have, and would you like to have minimum order quantity on your online store. Then you have to select a suitable design theme as per your choice, right? So you can select any one of them as per your liking. Lastly, you have to specify the digital catalog's name and URL. So this is where you'll see that your business name is pre-populated. If you want to make any changes to it, you can do that. Then we have store URL. This is where you'll see there's a code. So this is something which the system has done for you, but obviously you'll not be using it. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to share the name, right? So for example, you want to share with one of your friend, hey, go to my website and check out our latest product. Then they'll ask you, right, what is the URL of your website, what is the domain of your website, right? So you'll not be sharing like 63140A9A, right? It is impractical. So what we have to do is we have to simply change it here. So total fashion. If you want, you can add the entire thing. I'm just adding total fashion, and we will click on create and create store. And this is where the digital catalog gets created. Now, there are a few more steps that we have to do. And this is where we can see there's a bubble. So we can click on it and it will ask us to do few steps. Now you can do these steps in any order. You don't have to follow them in the exact order. So the first one is to create your catalog. So it will take you to this interface. This is where you can input your information. However, if you want to upload it in bulk, yes, that is also possible, right? So many people ask me this question, right? Hey, we have more than one product and we would like to upload them in bulk using an Excel file. Is it possible? Yes, absolutely. It is possible. You have to click on the product tab there, and then there is a down pointing arrow. Click there, click on import product XLS CSV, and then download the sample format from here and input the information into the format, and you can upload it from here. Very simple, right? So that is the product upload. I'll just quickly do a product upload. So this is where, for the benefit of time, we are just uploading one product. Then you have product type, and this is where I was all this while I was explaining to you that you can cater to both type of customers. So let me explain this phenomena of accept orders and accept inquiries with examples. So I'm opening two live websites. This is where I'm not showing you hypothetical example. These are live online stores, which from businesses like you. So I'm opening two products here. Now, if you want to have this kind of an experience on your online store, firstly, if you look at it for a second, you'll realize this is something which is very familiar, right? So when we shop online, this is something that we come across. So if you want to have this kind of an experience for your prospective buyers where they can come and they can give you an order, they can place an order, in that case, you have to select accept order. However, if you want to have this kind of an experience where you want to receive inquiries, you want to receive leads and not orders, in that case, you want to have this kind of an experience where a prospective is coming and they are submitting their leads, they are submitting their inquiries. In that case, you can select accept inquiry, right? So the same platform, but can cater to both type of products, right? So let's select both of them for the benefit of time. And this is where I'm going to add the price, select a unit of measure, then brief then we have stock keeping unit, and this is a alphanumeric field. So this is a unique identifier. So it is used to identify the products. So two products cannot have the same SKU code. So I've added the SKU code. Let's add the product code. So product code is basically used to identify or highlight the products that have variants. So for example, this kind of product, which has size variant and color variant. So something similar to that. Then we have stock, which I don't need, needs elaboration. Threshold is reorder level. Minimum order quantity is how many units you want the customer to buy. We also have minimum inquiry quantity, right? So, and then we have a category. So the category can be added from here. You can add the category name, it's like and click on save. Then we have brand. So if you're dealing in a branded item, you can add brands from here. Labels are like virtual stickers, which can be added onto the products. So let me just scroll down and show you. So this is where you can see these 40% off, 36% off. These are virtual stickers, which can be added to the products. So that is label. Tags are used to firstly link product to the navigation. So on the store, we have these navigations, right? Casual, and then the drop down. So tags are used to link the product to navigation and also to enhance the search which is happening on your online store. So you can manipulate the search using tags. And we have country of origin. This is where you can select the country of origin, product condition. You also have a feature wherein you can display a brochure. So I'll just show you an example. Here, if I'm clicking on this link, you can see I can download the brochure. The brochure is getting downloaded. So that option is also available. You can specify the visibility. Now, this is where visibility is something where a lot of people get confused. So because they think that, oh, we are in B2C business, we'll select this. We are in B2B business, we'll select this. No, this is where no one is asking you what type of business you are in. This is where you are selecting the visibility. So visibility is, for example, for a B2C business, everything is open, right? So you walk into a supermarket, everything is open. You can select, see any product, put it into the cart and buy that, right? So that is open visibility, whereas B2B is where you have selective visibility. So you can hide the products from general public, so they're not visible to anyone who's coming to your website, but to select people whom you are granting the permission, right? So to the people or to the business partners, trade partners whom you have granted the permission, only they can see the product and others can't. So that is a restricted visibility, and both means they are visible to all. Then we have description. So this where if you have additional information about the product, that can be added. So like this or like here. So this is description. This is additional information which can be added. Then you have dimensions and weight. These are used for calculating delivery fee, one of the method and an optional one as well. So while you're creating your digital catalog, you may not have this information. It can be added at a later stage. Then we have variant. This is where we have to specify the basis variation, and this is where we have to specify the values. So for example, small, medium, large like this. So just type there and press comma. System will accept it. SQ codes are pre-populated based on the SQ code that we had entered here. But these are editable, so you can make changes to them. You have selling price, stock, which is again editable. SEO-related information, meta title, and description are critical, but while you're creating your digital catalog or uploading your product, you may not have this information, which is understood, right? So don't stress yourself. Don't feel that, oh my God, I don't have this information. What will happen? Don't worry. It can be added. It is crucial, right? It is important. You should understand that it is important, but it is not necessary while you're creating your digital catalog or while you're uploading your product, you should add it. You can add it at a later stage. You can add it in bulk as well, right? And then you can put it in an Excel file, upload it. So, but remember to add it. Lastly, we'll quickly upload images. We'll use the folder. In fact, we will create a folder as well. So men's shirt like this. We'll quickly create a folder. Just give me a few seconds. Selecting all the images and then clicking on upload. All the images are uploaded. Now we have to tell the system which should be the first one, which should be the second one, which should be the third one. Now, in case you're wondering, I'll just select them randomly because we don't have too much time left. So we have specified the images and their sort order. The ideal dimensions and maximum size, they are all mentioned here for your reference. The ideal dimensions is 800 by 1000 and maximum size is 2 MB. But ideally, you should try to look for something lesser. So we'll click on save, and that should complete one of the steps. Right, let's go to the bubble once again. So now we have set up shipping zone. We'll click on that and it will take us to the logistic management section. Here you'll see there's a shipping zone. This overlay will open by default. There are 2 red areas. So you can put like 2 here and let's say 100 here, just putting hypothetical values. But this is something which is like just taking 1 minute to explain what it is. So shipping zone is used to calculate delivery fee. So if you're creating a store where you're accepting inquiries, obviously this is not relevant to you, but you can just put few values here so that you are complying with this step. Second is if you're creating a store where you're accepting orders, this need to be set up properly. And that is where firstly you'll have to sign up with a courier company that will provide you the area details and the commercials, and then you can set it up properly. For the time being, while you are creating your store, you can just put few values here, right? So estimated delivery time is ideally in how much time the order should get delivered, and then you have to put a value here, right? And then click on update. That should complete this step. So now we are on the last step, that is activate payment. Let's click there. It will take us to the payment interface. You can see there are a number of payment methods. For the time being, you can just go to cash on delivery, turn this on and click on save, and that should complete all the steps. So now you can see that bubble has gone away. Now we have to go to the home section and we have to just publish our store. So this is where we are on the home section and we can publish the store. So we'll click on publish store, which will take us to the settings section. This is where scroll down, this is where you'll see publish, turn it on, click on save, and go back to the home section. And this is where you have completed the setup of your online store. Now, obviously, there are a few more steps related to uploading rest of your products or making your digital catalog more beautiful, selecting a different theme, etc. You can all do that later, but for the time being, you can see there's this product that we have uploaded and the digital catalog setup is completed. So this is how easily, right? So we didn't took like 10 minutes to complete it. So this is how easily you'll be able to create your digital catalog, right? So I just spent this time to overcome that apprehension that many people feel that it is very technical. We'll not be able to do that. It requires technology knowledge, computer knowledge, coding knowledge, nothing like that. It is very easy. You just saw we did it together and it took us like less than 10 minutes. Let's go back very quickly to our presentation and let's move to the next section. This is where I've added few tools to the presentation. This is where you have a website check, a search check, a mobile responsiveness check. So, and on the other side of the screen, you can see there are a few tools which I have added. Now, firstly, to check the completeness, you can just download these files which are linked here, and you will be getting a copy of this presentation. Don't worry. So you can download these resources, and then it has a list. So you have to just tick mark that this is done, this is done, this is done, this is done. And that should help you understand how complete is your website. Then you can also do a check for search engine optimization. You can also do a check for mobile responsiveness. And then there are other tools which can help you understand the other performance checks. So you can use Google PageSpeed or GTmetrix to understand how your website is performing. You can do a content check. You can do a SEO check. So this should help you understand to how extent or to which extent your online store is complete, what are the areas of improvement, so that you can complete it properly, so that you can actually gain benefit from it. All right, so let's move on to the next topic, that is how to avail digital catalog setup service. Now, you might be wondering, what is a digital catalog setup service? So this is where, let me quickly explain. So when we are trying to create this digital catalog, there are two options available. One is we can do DIY or do it yourself, right? That is one option where you as a business owner or your team will be creating this or going through this entire process themselves. And the second option is you can outsource it. You can avail services of an agency that can do it for you. Now, if you're doing it yourself, you have to invest your own time and energy. You have to learn the nitty-gritties and details of online store setup and management. And there are challenges of design dilemma, lack of knowledge, lack of time, etc. If you're outsourcing, it will be created by a team of professionals. It will be presentable and professional looking, but obviously it is tailor-made to your business, and you'll get a stunning digital presence without any stress and effort. So this is the differentiation between the two options which are available with you. DIY, if you're doing DIY, obviously you have to invest your time and energy. With outsource, you don't have to invest your own time and energy. You will get something ready-made for you. Obviously, there is a cost associated there. This is something that you can do it yourself, and your time obviously has a value. So it is not like it's entirely free. People feel like when we are doing DIY, there's no cost associated with. No, there is a cost associated with it. The cost is the value of your time, right? So whatever is the hourly value of your time, you can multiply it. You can understand what is the cost of DIY as compared to what is the cost of outsource. Now, in case you are interested to avail digital catalog setup service, at the bottom of the screen, I've given a link to the page where you can go and you can submit the request. I'll also quickly show you that page. So just give me 1 second. This is the page of digital catalog setup service. You have to come here and you can review the details here, and you have to click on inquire now, which will open this form. On this form, you have to just fill in your details and click on inquire now. Now, this information will go to our team, onboarding team. They will connect with you and they'll understand your requirement. And based on that, they will get back to you or quote to you the commercials for the outsourced digital catalog setup. So this is where we are going to break into the question answer round, the open discussion. Thank you everyone for taking out time and participate in this presentation. Now I'm going to turn off the screen share and we are going to break into the question answers. I can already see there are 5 questions in today's session. Now I'll request everyone, if you have any question, you should add that to the question answer round or question Q&A section. The first question is by anonymous attendee. How can we get the recording of today's session? The answer is absolutely yes. All of you will get the recording of today's session. The next question is by Mr. Digvijay. How many products listed? Then we can promote profile. If the question is, because I'm not absolutely clear about the question, Digvijay ji, but if you're understand, if you're trying to understand how many products can you have on your digital catalog, so there's no limit to it. You can have as many products as you want. Uh, or if you're asking that how many products should you list on your profile and then start promoting it. So ideally, you should list all the products that you have on your profile, and then you should promote it. So I'm not sure how you are going to promote it, but if you're thinking of running digital ads, etc., that's where it is obviously better to have as much options as possible, because obviously your offering becomes better. Paraji, I think you have got an answer to your question about how to create a real catalog and where it can be hosted. GlobalLinker is providing that service wherein you can create your own digital catalog, and it comes with its own hosting. It is hosted on a PCI DSS certified infrastructure. So a very secured infrastructure is also available on which it is hosted, and all you have to do is to create it and operate it and market it, and then grow your business out of it. Another attendee was looking for live links. So this presentation is going to be shared with all of you as part of the email. So you'll get an email after this session where you'll have a link of recording of this session and also link of this presentation. So you can download this presentation and you will have all the links. So don't worry on that. Next question by Mr. Bharat. Unable to click, please share the URL. So Bharatji, you'll get the copy of this presentation. Don't worry on that. And how to create a digital catalog, help us create leads as well as in furniture manufacturing export directly. So the next question is from Rajesh G, and he is into furniture business, exports to different countries, and wants to understand how does creating digital catalog will help create more leads. So Rajesh G, this is where by creating digital catalog, you are creating a digital presence. So a very simple way that I can share with you is you can create a digital catalog, and there's a platform called Indian Business Portal, which is created by us in partnership with the Federation of All India Export Organization. So you can start showcasing your products there, and it is promoted to international buyers by the government. So it will help you start getting visibility and leads from international buyers without spending anything, right? So you don't have to spend your top dollar on digital marketing. That is a absolutely free resource or free option that is available to you. That is one thing. Now coming more about advertising and generating leads. So once you have a digital catalog, you can do a research and try to understand which all are the countries from where the furniture products are getting imported, and then you can start running ads on those specific countries. So for example, if someone from UK is looking for buying furniture from India, so whenever they are searching, your ads gets displayed, and then they are retargeted to your digital catalog where they can see your collection, your offerings, etc., and then they can send you an inquiry that, hey, we are interested to do business with you, right? So those kind of tactics, and then you can also consider running remarketing ads that will build a retention for that person. So they came to your website, saw your collection. Now, wherever they are going, they'll continue to see your ads, and that will build a retention as well. And that those ads may bring them back to your online store, and they can send you a lead, right? So those kind of activities can be done by you to generate business from your digital catalog. Next question is currency type US dollar or rupee. It is entirely up to you. So if you want to have US dollar, you can do that. If you want to have US rupee, the pricing of your product in rupee, you can do that. In fact, we have a feature called auto currency switcher. So, for example, you want people to see the prices of their product in the currency of their country, right? So, if someone is looking at your product sitting in France, they should see the pricing in euro. That is possible. You can use the auto currency switcher. It will detect the location of the person, and based on that, it will show the currency. And you can also set up a margin to it, right? So if you want to jack up the price, you can also do that. Next question is Patik Patel. They're into engineering services and the market is localized. Will it be useful? Absolutely, it is useful to you as well. So even if the market is localized, like even if it is domestic, still you can have a digital catalog, and that digital catalog can help you with local advertising. So it is not like if you are doing international advertising only, you can do local advertising. So if someone is looking for a engineering service or a fabrication service provider near you, that's where you can land up, and you can start generating more leads and more inquiries locally as well, right? In addition to that, in examples, for example, there's a business, they are into uh, kitchenware and kitchen appliances. Now, obviously, there is a B2C side of it, and people are buying for their personal consumption, but they also have a distribution network that is associated with them. Now, obviously, all those distributors and retailers, they have to connect with their sales team to place their orders, and then the fulfillment happen. Now, by giving all those bulk buyers also an option that, hey, you can just simply come to the online portal. You don't have to call up anyone whenever you want. You can just come here, log in, select which all products you would want to source, and then just place an order. So the digital catalog, the like utility or the use case is it depends on your imagination, right? So how you can imagine, you can take it forward. So it is not like something which is only catering or only helping you generate more leads or new leads or helping you connect with new buyers. In fact, even the work that you're doing with your existing buyers or existing trade partners, you can do it more efficiently using the digital catalog. How useful is digital catalog for industries such as pharmaceuticals, which is a regulated, where the regulations aren't very lax? Absolutely. So this is beneficial for every industry. Now, for pharma, I'm not sure if you're referring to B2C. Uh, for B2B, you can definitely use it to generate leads, right? So you can tell the people that, hey, we can manufacture this pharma product for you, but they can't buy it. They have to send you an inquiry, and then you can respond back and understand where they are looking, where do you have to supply, what are the local regulations, licenses, etc., etc., and understand all that, and then you can grow your business. For B2C, obviously there is regulation, right? So over-the-counter medicines can be sold. For prescription drugs, you need to have a mechanism to seek the prescription from the customer, and based on that, you can service that, right? So there are so many platforms which are already doing that. So yes, it can cater to pharma business as well, and we have like many users who are already have their digital catalogs in the pharma business created, and they are using it to generate leads and inquiries for their business. Next question is by Mr. Bharat, and interesting one as well. So how does GlobalLinker stands against Feedonomics catalog creator? So Bharatji, firstly, GlobalLinker is not just a platform, right? So I hope you got a sense of that by now. We are an ecosystem, and what we are trying to do is we are creating an ecosystem that can help business owners like you grow digitally and efficiently at minimum cost possible. So when you're joining the GlobalLinker community, you are not just creating an online store. We are not just a platform where you come and you create an online store. This is where you're joining a community from where we have people from 150 plus countries. So you can connect with them, you can network with them, you can exchange ideas, or you can find more buyers and suppliers there. Now, when you're creating your digital catalog, obviously you are creating a digital presence and you have a functional presence on the internet where people can come, they can send you an inquiry, etc. In addition to that, we also have digital we also have marketplaces or digital discovery platforms. So during the presentation, I explained to you, or I talked about a platform called Indian Business Portal, right? So this is a platform where Indian exporters are showcasing their products to international buyers, right? So I don't think there is any other entity that I've come across that has this broad and wide offering, where you are not just creating a online store, you are creating a feature packed online store, which has B2C, B2B catering, and B2B features are something which I haven't found to be there on any even like world's largest e-commerce platform. You're getting the business networking solutions, and you are also getting a solution or an opportunity to showcase product on a discovery platform and generate leads and inquiries without spending anything, right? So the entire thing, absolutely zero cost from a business owner's side, right? So that is GlobalLinker. I'm not sure about Feedonomics catalog creator, how they are, but I hope you got a sense what GlobalLinker is offering. We try to reach out to our business, but nobody gets back to us. Nature Biosciences, I'm not sure how did you try to reach out to us, but I'm going to share my contact details in the chat. And I would request if you can drop me an email or a WhatsApp message. I would try to get back to you, or someone from my team will get back to you. The next question is from Vincent AM. What is the difference between digital catalog and e-commerce website? Absolutely, there is no difference between e-commerce website and digital catalog. E-commerce website is more B2C, whereas digital catalog is like omni. So it can cater to B2C, it can cater to B2B, it can cater to both of them at the same time. So that is digital catalog. So digital catalog, simply put, is a website that has information about the business and also the information about the product or services that they are offering, and it can cater to all type of customers, B2C, B2B, or both of them. Now, what is a SaaS platform? So SaaS is a term or short form for software as a service. So this is a concept where instead of buying the software, you're subscribing to it, right? So earlier we used to buy Microsoft Office, but now we don't do that. We subscribe for an annual subscription, right? So that is the difference which has happened. So instead of buying the software, now you are subscribing to it. And similar is the concept. So earlier, when you wanted to get a website build or an e-commerce website or a digital catalog build, that's where you had to buy the entire software. You own the code. But with a software as a solution, you are not owning the code. We are just using it to create your digital catalog, and that's it. Yeah. Pratik Patel has clarified local means only in their area in Ahmedabad. Absolutely, you can do it for your local marketing as well, right? So you have a digital catalog and you can promote it locally as well. So it is not like with digital advertising, the advantage is like with precision, you can target it geographically, right? So even in Ahmedabad, which regions of Ahmedabad you would want to target, you can even do that, right? So absolutely having a digital catalog will help you. So next question is by Mr. Rajesh Soni. So Rajesh ji, I in the presentation I've added the link, or I will also share the link in the chat for everyone's reference. So if you are interested to avail the digital catalog setup service, please drop a please submit the inquiry. Just added the link in the chat. So please submit the inquiry. One of the onboarding specialists will connect with you. They will try to understand your requirement, and based on that, they will give a quotation to you. It will basically a one-time service, and then there is no hosting, no maintenance, nothing like that. So it is just one time. You are seeking someone's help. Like instead of you doing it, yeah, you are asking, "Here, Dan, can you do it for me?" Right. So that is that kind of service where you're hiring an agency, and that agency is doing it for you one time. After that, your team will be trained, and then you can take that forward. You don't have to pay any hosting or an AMC or anything of that sort any time in future, right? So it is just one time fee that you'll have to bear for the digital catalog setup service. Next question is by Faisal Farhan. Is Linker.store and digital catalog creation same? So Linker.store is in fact the name of the solution that we have, the name of the product that we have, which is used to create digital catalog, right? So you use Linker.store to create the digital catalog. Next question again from Faisal. What is the difference between SEO keywords, meta keywords, meta tags, and meta description? Is it related to our products? Yes, absolutely. They are related to your products. The meta tag and meta descriptions are used in search. So if you go to Google and you search for something, so when the search results are displayed, there is a title which is displayed in blue color. That is meta title, and then you have meta description, which is in the gray color. So that is meta title and description. So these are used by the search engines for indexing your website, right? So a very layman's example is if you go to a pharmacy store and you ask for the medicine, the person will like simply pull a dabba from the shelf and took out the medicine and hand it over to you, right? So they are extremely precise because they know from which dabba they have to pull to give you the medicine. Now, similarly, when someone comes to Google and they search for something, they'll pull out some information from their server and show it to them, right? So similarly, for Google to put this information about your website in the correct dabba, in the correct shell, this information is needed. Obviously, the information that you have on your product page or on any of the pages that you have, that is also there, but this is where you have to condense that information. For example, the the meta title, product title can be like anything up to 500 characters, but the meta title only has 60 characters, right? So you are condensing it, making it more precise, more sharp for the search engine. And similarly for meta description, like your product description can be like 1,000 characters or 2,000 characters, no limitation on that, but your meta description has to be only 150 to 170 characters. So again, you are condensing it, making it more precise, adding the relevant keywords to it, so that the search engine, when they're crawling or indexing your information, they know where do they have to crawl or put your information so that your results can be displayed appropriately, right? That is meta information, and absolutely you have to update it. And while I was explaining the store creation process, that's where I've explained or stressed on the fact that this is a crucial piece of information and you should add it. But in case you're confused or in case you're stressed, like I'm not a SEO specialist, how will I create this information? Don't worry, there are AI tools which are available. So if you go to YouTube and search for GlobalLinker, you'll find a recording of previous webinars. And like some time ago, I did a webinar where I explained how you can use AI tools to generate this information, which is meta title and description. So review the recording and you'll be able to understand this process. All right. So any other question? That was the last question in the Q&A section. So any other question from any other participant? Before we conclude the session today, so I have added my contact details in the chat, and I've also added the link where you can go and you can submit your request for availing the digital catalog setup service. So you can submit your requisition from there. And before concluding this session, once again, I should thank you all for taking out time and participating in today's session. I hope you found the session informative. I was just looking at the exchanges in the chat if there is anything. So there were just exchanges between the members. Next question is by anonymous attendees. Does AI content influences search in any way? Yes, it does. And again, I would want to request you, if you want to understand more about this thing, go to YouTube and search for GlobalLinker and look for the AI webinar that I did recently. That's where you would find answer to this question, and also how you can overcome a trick to overcome this challenge, right? So AI created content is definitely flagged, and it will have an impact on your search rankings. You'll not be able to rank, but there's a trick that you can use to overcome this challenge. And it is, I've demonstrated that trick in the webinar. So you can review the recording of the webinar to understand how to do that. All right. So this is where we are going to conclude today's session. I hope you all were able to learn something in today's session. I thoroughly enjoyed interacting with you. So this is where we are going to conclude the session today. But this, I think, is also marks a start of our relationship. So I'm open to connecting or helping any one of you. If you need any help or guidance, please do feel free to reach out to me. I've already shared my contact details in the chat. Preferred medium would be email. Phone, sometime I'm not able to answer because I'm busy with meetings, etc. So it would be better that drop me an email or drop me a WhatsApp message, and I would try to connect back with you. So looking forward to meeting you again in my future sessions and webinar. So this is where we'll conclude the session.